Okey, selamat pagi ke sidang media ini. Kita hari ini amat bangga dan gembira untuk mengumumkan pelancaran satu kaukus Parlimen yang baru, iaitu kaukus Parlimen Demokrasi Pelbagai Parti, Parliamentary Caucus for Multi-Party Demokrasi, dan saya akan jemput conveners bersama untuk buat ucapan. Dan yang pertama ialah YB Azalina Syed Othman, YB Pengarang. Dan yang kedua ialah YB Mariachin Abdullah, YB dari Petaling Jaya. Sila.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Kami dengan sukacita dan penuh takzimnya mengumumkan penubuhan sebuah kaukus parlimen yang dikenali sebagai Kaukus Parlimen Demokrasi Pelbagai Parti, Parliamentary Caucus for Multi-Party Democracy, di bangunan Parlimen pada hari ini, 20 Julai 2022. Gabungan Pilihan Raya Bersih dan Adil merupakan sekretariat pada kaukus ini. Yang di-Pertua Dewan Rakyat Tan Sri Azhar Azizan Harun juga telah dimaklumkan tentang penubuhan kaukus ini melalui surat rasmi bertarikh 18 Julai 2022. Objektif kaukus ini adalah bagi menggalakkan dialog, penglibatan dan penyertaan rentas parti di Parlimen untuk isu-isu reformasi institusi, terutamanya Dewan Rakyat, dan untuk memudahkan penyertaan orang awam dalam proses Parlimen. Kaukus ini adalah penting untuk memupuk dan memandu persaingan pelbagai parti yang sihat dan produktif bagi melahirkan udara demokrasi yang lebih baik di Malaysia. Berikut merupakan senarai ahli kaukus daripada UMNO Pengerang, PKR Petaling Jaya, PKR Kulim Bandar Baru, Amanah Hulu Langat, Bebas Kuala Langat, DAP Seremban, Bersatu Alu Gajah, DAP Keluang, UPKO Tuaran, Warisan Penampang, PBM Julau, PSB Selangkau. Dalam mesyuarat pada Selasa 19 Julai, iaitu semalam, kaukus telah melantik kami berdua, saya dan YB Petaling Jaya sebagai konvener bersama. Kami berterima kasih atas amanah ini dan dengan sokongan padu rakan-rakan dalam kaukus akan memajukan agenda reformasi sedaya upaya kami.
Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum. Sebagai permulaan, ahli-ahli kaukus telah bersetuju untuk mengkaji mengenai dan menggerakkan usaha untuk menyematkan peraturan-peraturan mesyuarat Dewan Rakyat bagi menambah baik operasi Parlimen, termasuk memperkenalkan urusan bukan kerajaan, backbenchers kerajaan dan ahli-ahli pembangkang, serta mempermudahkan RUU ahli pensendirian dan digitalisasi proses-proses Parlimen, memperkasa jawatan kuasa pilihan Parlimen, serta mengadakan perbincangan atau pendengaran bersama pihak berkepentingan seperti pakar-pakar masyarakat sivil, media dan orang ramai berkenaan agenda pemekasaan Parlimen dan memperkukuhkan demokrasi. Kami juga ambil berat tentang ketidakseimbangan gender dalam kepimpinan kedua-dua Dewan Rakyat dan Dewan Negara dan melihat pentingnya untuk barisan timbalan yang dipertua di kedua-dua Dewan menggambarkan kepelbagaian dalam gender, wilayah dan kepartian. Kami seluruh ahli kaukus ini amat berharap semoga platform ini dimanfaatkan seoptimumnya oleh semua pihak dalam usaha memperkasakan perangan sebenar para ahli Parlimen, terutamanya backbenchers kerajaan dan ahli-ahli pembangkang, selaku pembuat undang-undang dan dasar negara, sekaligus menjadikan institusi Parlimen benar-benar profesional dan bertaraf dunia. Sekian, terima kasih. You want to share the thing?
Ya, jika ada soalan sila kemukakan sekarang. Ada soalan tak tentang kaukus ini?
The caucus will come under the umbrella of Parliament, right? Like any other caucuses which form, you all get any allowances or, you know,
Okay.
We wish.
Yeah, this is a parliamentary caucus, comprises of members of parliament, but we do not receive any resources from the parliament in terms of any funding or staffing. So that is why Brese is playing the role of the secretariat to support the work of this caucus. Yeah. It is up to the caucus member, but we foresee we will want to have regular meeting monthly. But in between, of course, we are in constant contact and discussion, because there are many urgent reforms that we are looking at, that we would want to put forward to the government for consideration. So there will be constant communication. I don't know whether the convener would like to add in.
No, I guess that the purpose of this caucus is really about the laws and also the policy, and it will be driven by what is the national interest at stake. So we hope that in the process of it, what we are doing is that introducing this whole concept. Of course, all party parliamentary group has also done it, that it will be cross-party, and we are focused above all on issues that concern the country.
what's the main agenda for the day? The first things that you all
No, I think most importantly, all of us MPs from both sides of the House bench, whether government or backbencher and also opposition bench, we want to see a more level playing field in Parliament. As you know, the Parliament and the Minister has continuously spoken about the Parliament Services Act. And no point having the Parliament Services Act if our instrument in Parliament is not responding to it. For example, the standing order. So that is all under the House Committee and all that. So all these committees in Parliament, there are permanent committees, there are the PSSA, all represented by multi-party. So us representing our party directly or indirectly is able to make sure some of the issues that may be brought by this caucus, which is slightly more technical, can be reminded to our representative in all these committees. Because no point talking about PSA, Parliament Services Act. The independent must have an implementation and follow through. And myself, being the former deputy speaker, realized that yes, we know we are separation of powers with the government, but I think the rakyat wants to see the MPs be able to do and function fairly, regardless of which side of the bench we sit. Anything else? Bukan dibawa, tetapi kita nakkan supaya pasal caucus ni dia agak lebih fleksibel daripada komiti-komiti dalam dalam peraturan parlimen. Caucus ni dia boleh bawa NGO bersama, macam hari ni Bersih dan Adil. Mereka mungkin mempunyai kemahiran di segi kajian untuk membantu kita memahami contohnya apa yang berlaku di negara-negara asing. Jadi untuk kebaikan bagi sistem demokrasi dalam negara kita, itu sebab kita panggil diri kita caucus. Dia kalau bawa PSSC, nak mesyuarat kena ikut syarat dia. Kena bagi notis dalam dewan, masa sedang bersidang. Wahal caucus ni, kami nak pergi kedai kopi boleh, kedai mamak boleh, mana-mana boleh. Yang penting kami bercakap lah. Dan kita
informal gathering.
Dan kita tak nak lah bila kita duduk ramai-ramai.
Less bureaucracy.
Dan kita tak nak bila duduk ramai, dia orang rasa adanya gerakan kedua nak tukar kerajaan lah. Tak maulah macam tu. That's why kita ada caucus. Sebab kami ni orang politik memang sentiasa bertemu, tetapi kami bertemu dengan aksan daripada parti kami, memberikan kami hak untuk bertemu dan berbual. It's an ongoing discussion. I think I'm right.
And very open too.
I think it's best to see the caucus as supportive of the existing PSA. committees.
What the government wants to do.
Yeah, so we are supporting rather than trying to come up with our own agenda. So, for example, the standing order would be something that we would want to also review, and then provide it to the various committees on what are the amendments we want to make for the standing order, and also the Parliamentary Services Act yang YB has actually talked about. We also would like to have an input on that as well. So it's not to override anybody, but to support. And it's a cross-party thing. I think that is the way to go in a democratic parliament.
Do you all have a timeline to achieve the goal, such as revise the standing order, non-governmental time?
Timeline is the problem. Sengaja ada bulan dia hitam. Timeline is the problem.
Okay, to be honest, as soon as possible, but there's no timeline. It's really about debate and consultation before we actually push through these things. Yeah. You want to
Because our license is the period of Parliament. If assuming Parliament is dissolved, we're just friends or families lah. If we run again, right? I want to call you an example. I think all of us at this today can understand. For example, like the Sulu debate. I think cross-party, we are very open to a lot of debate. But sometimes I believe that debate can also be achieved informally by relevant ministry briefing us, not necessarily in the Dewan. So we want to find a way, like a compromise way. If the government feels that, we don't want to answer because it's sub judice, maybe there's an informal way to discuss.
Correct.
Because all of us have an opinion. And then when we go down to our constituency, the rakyat asks us, what happened? So how are we going to respond? So what I think we're trying to say to the government is, even though I'm part of government or semi-government or 34% of government, is government must run, especially in a coalition situation like this,
Very sincere.
to I think not element of sincerity, but more into transparency
To the right.
and accountability through us. No harm talking to us. Doesn't mean that every time we want to debate, we're trying to pick faults. I think all of us are also, like yesterday we had a SOSMA briefing by the minister. To be very fair, he brought all of the MPs on both sides together, and we thrash it out. We asked questions that was hard, and it's easy for him later today to bring the amendment and the ratification, and we will support, or we will ask again. And that is what we want to see, a more healthy dialogue. You say we are democratic country, this is democracy lah, in the making, or democracy first hand. Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And also, I think even though YB Azalina correctly pointed out, the life of this caucus is only the term of this parliament. But we hope to see this as the beginning of a new way whereby cross-party parliamentarian can sit together in an informal way to look at what is good for the country. So even after G15, we hope that this will continue lah. Yeah.
Any more questions? Anyone wants to say anything? You all want to say anything?
No.
Okay. Anyone?
Okay.
You should ask Berse to spend you breakfast,
By the way, we do have breakfast.
No,
But
don't
it's-
announce it over here.
But it's at the other side.
Okay.
A group photo.
Okay.
All right. So,
I thought I saw
Sebagian sana.
meters. Oh,
okay, everybody, yeah?
meters.
All
Yeah.
right, okay.
Okay.
Mask, no mask?
Mask first, ah.
Mask first.